right. Well, welcome to yet another episode of Fuck You Friday. I'm your host, Wynn Silverman. This is my co-host, Casey LeBlanc. We are super excited to be able to host Noel G.
They tryna at me, I'm running the race. I gotta pick up the pace. They throwing shade, but I'm gone. You gotta keep it a buck to my face. Taking that gang out of space. It's best if you stay in your place. They hating on all of my songs. I don't know what can I say. They throwing shots, but I'm saved by His grace. God is to shoot, I'm the lace. Running around, got me stoned, man. Feels like I'm stuck in the maze.
Noel G's in the house. Thank you so much for hanging out and being on the podcast with us. We really appreciate it, man.
No, it's all love, man. I just thank you guys for having me. You know what I'm saying?
It's awesome.
I always make a joke. It's when they stop asking for you, you got to worry.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's
as
not
long
good
as
at
I'm
all.
still being asked for, I'm all right. I'm
cool.
all right. I'm in the all right zone. I'm with it.
Excellent. Excellent. So, man, what we like to do just to start off is always have Casey kind of give a little perspective as to what the purpose of this podcast is, because that'll help kind of shape a little bit of the direction of our discussion. So Casey, if you just kind of want to give just a little bit of a background, and then we'll I'd like to dig in a little bit about where you're from at first and then go from there.
Yeah, so Fuck You Friday originated back when I was in college, and it really comes from a sporting background. We've had different people on, and we want to hear your perspective as to what Hollywood is like and how you've become elite and some of the traits and things that the discipline that it takes to actually do that. And so the origin is Friday being a third day of the weekend in some people's mentality. So we're going to ask questions about your life, then want to extract some of the really cool things that you've done that maybe you either consciously know or don't or aren't paying attention to that has helped you become the superstar that you are today. So it kind of give us some background. Just start from where you're from.
Where are you from? Yeah, what's going on?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You guys are very intellectual, which sounds very extraordinary to my external auditory meatus. Henceforth, I'm playing. You guys are too smart over here.
No. That's as much, by the way.
That was straight up professional there.
He's trained for that. Yeah, he's trained for that a long time.
You need to come with subtitles, bro, so the hood can understand you. You know what I mean? All right. I've been to college once. I had to drop somebody off, but damn, bro, you want a whole nother page.
He was in college, but he majored in eligibility. So it's kind of the same thing.
I ain't mad at you, bro.
The people that aren't smart have to pretend they're smart. So that's what I do.
Someone graduated, you know what I'm saying? I graduated, but just on my own schedule.
I feel you on that.
It's all good, man. But no, I'm just playing, G. I'm just playing, man. I didn't understand a damn word you said, but I'm like, no, I'm playing, dog.
I didn't either.
Right.
I didn't either.
No. So I grew up in Orange County, and then I moved to LA when I was about 15, 16 years old, for the quote-unquote Hollywood business, acting business, or whatever.
So you knew when you were 15, 16, this is what I want to do.
What the fuck motivated you from 0 to 50? Like, you just knew, as a kid?
No, I didn't. My story, actually, to keep it 100 with you, was literally a right place, right time story. Literally. So the way that I was trying to answer the one question or whatever, so
we're going to try to confuse you the whole time. So just get after it.
All right, it's one of those shows.
Yeah, I don't care. It's called Fuck You Friday. I'll do what I want.
I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you, man. So, no, that's what's up. So I took this boat cruise, and when I went out to the Bahama Islands, that's where I met this girl that I was dating for a while. And then after that, I ended up on the top of a mountain where I could see this beautiful view. But it was crazy because I've always drove fast my whole life, and I got this speeding ticket. And once I got this speeding ticket, what ended up happening is I'm always into fashion, So did I confuse you guys yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No,
Okay, just keep on going.
What I got is fast cars and fashion. That sounds like Hollywood to me.
You guys, you guys look like someone put you on pause for a minute, bro. You guys were both like,
what happened?
Right, I'm playing. No, you confuse me. I'm confusing you, dog.
Mission
You got to ask a question to get us back, or we're just going to talk about a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, let's get after it.
That's all good. I ain't mad at you, dog. That's the type of Friday we're having, bro. We're drunk without the drink.
That's
what's up.
Well,
man.
speak for yourself.
That's when you know you got some good stuff. Okay, you started early. All right. You put beer in your cornflakes.
I did.
I know. I can look at you.
Yeah, I can look at you. Yeah, makes sense now.
Cool.
It's all coming together now. It's all coming together.
That's right.
This is the show that exposes everything.
Oh, God, I don't know if we have enough time.
I got you. It's all love. I'm with it. All right,
so you got to Hollywood when you were 15, or was this still a cruise, or are you on the top of a mountain?
Yeah,
No, I was
speeding tickets and fashion.
I was just playing. Damn, you guys keep up, bro.
That's good.
You guys are human recorders. All right, I ain't mad at you. No, it was a right place, right time story. I was living with this girl. I was homeless at the time, and she wanted to be an actress, Hollywood model, and the whole deal. I never thought a day about it. I was, living the street life at the time. I never even thought that I could be on TV. Like, that never even crossed my mind. At that time, all I was thinking was how I'm going to live and eat. That's pretty much all that was on my mind, you know? So I move in with this girl, and one day she asked me to move. One day she asked me to go with her to an acting class. And her family took me in or whatever. And I always thought that if I didn't go to this acting class with her, I always thought that, like, she would get that she'd get mad at me and I'm back on the street. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. So I did everything to keep this girl happy so I could continue to have a roof over my head because I knew what homeless was. Yeah. And I was homeless for 2 years, in between 13 and the ages of 15. So what ended up happening was I went with her to this acting class. To fast forward the story, literally right place, right time. And I'm just keeping it 100. I just keep it real. I went inside the class and I thought everybody was like dorks and nerds. So I started talking mess. And I just started, acting a class clown. There was a producer who was sitting in class at that time who was scouting out talent. He comes up to me after the class and he said, "Oh, you want to be on a Taco Bell commercial? You're kind of funny." And I was like, "Oh, because I'm Mexican, huh? What's up?"
Yeah, was he profiling you?
Yeah. I know, straight up. Couldn't get any more racist, right?
So you're Mexican?
Taco Bell.
Mexican,
you're
Italian.
Mexican.
Yeah.
Mexican, Italian, okay.
Yeah. My dad's Italian, mom's Mexican. So what ends up happening was I did this, and I thought he was on some BS, whatever. So I gave him my number. It ended up being real. So the first thing I ever did in my life was a Taco Bell commercial at the age of 15 years old, coming in cold turkey, not knowing nothing about nothing. So this is what ended up happening. At 15, I was ignorant. I didn't know about residual income. I thought, you got to work to get paid. I didn't know residual income. That was outer space to me, right? So when I did the commercial, I kept on getting these checks. And for the viewers out there who don't know what residual income is when you do a commercial and you work one day in your life and they show that commercial. Let's say they show that commercial 10 times in one day. That's 10 checks. So every time they re-show the commercial, you get a check. And I didn't know that at the time. I was 15 years old. I thought you got to work to get paid, whatever. So all these checks started coming in and I thought it was a computer mess up. But I was still cashing the checks.
You weren't going to say shit about that.
Hell no, I wasn't going to say nothing, bro. I already had my story for court. I was going to be like, they were paying me. I didn't know.
I didn't know any better.
Right?
We call that mailbox money. Yeah,
exactly. It was a lot of.
You call it residual. Look at you. We're starting to have an influence on that already.
Now we're picking up some slang, man.
Yeah.
We'll keep it by the end. I'll ghetto you guys out.
All right, cool.
So don't trip, man. We'll put flannels on you and a tattoo. You guys are straight. We'll turn this whole thing around.
Yeah, if I don't have an eardrop by the end of today, or a teardrop, I'm
born to lose tattoo. Don't even trip, dog. If you're gonna go F you, go all the way in, all right?
All or nothing.
Don't half it, bro. Don't half it, dog. So all these checks started coming in. I pretty much went from nothing to bling bling overnight, to keep it real. And so I called up the producer and I was like, "Yo, why I keep on getting paid for this commercial?" And he explained to me, no, that's right. That's the way you get paid. I said, "What?" I said, "Well, damn, I want to be an actor then if that's how you get paid."
Sure.
And that's how the acting got started.
Was that as you chucked the deuce to the girlfriend and you're like, "I guess I don't need you anymore. Thanks for the classes."
She ended up having my baby, so
okay.
Yeah, she there 24/7.
So she flipped the script on you.
Yeah. She got her paycheck, bro. She got me for child support. She got her paycheck.
Once she saw the mailbox money, she's like, "I don't know what this is either, but
I like it too. I like it too.
She loved it. She loved it. Trust me when I tell you, we were happy campers.
Yeah.
But so that's how the acting got started. So to cut the story short, I told him, "Hey, man, I want to be an actor if that's how you get paid." So here's what I can honestly say. When I first got into acting, I'm going to keep it 100. I got into it for the money because I never made so much money so damn quickly.
Sure.
But legally also as well, which was, on top of my street pharmacy money. So what ended up happening was when I got paid like that, I was like, I want to be an actor. And it was funny because he introduced me to, but here's what I wanted to say real quick, just to backtrack for 2 seconds. A serious moment for you guys. If we can keep it serious on this show, I don't know. But we gonna go for it. We gonna go for it. We gonna try. We gonna try.
Hey, it's called we have range. We have range, right?
Right
Is that
now,
what they call that in acting? You have to have range?
Right now, Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors.
Yeah.
Right now, you're about to hear some crickets, all right?
Yeah.
No, but what I can honestly say is when I started off in the acting business, I can honestly say that I got into it for the money. But as I started doing it, it became a real passion of mine. The reason why I love this job so much and why it's so fun is because, number one, I get to do things like this, right? Talk about a whole bunch of nothing and waste people's time. It's a beautiful thing. And
he's called that his whole life.
It's never the same thing. I'm always working in a different place, meeting different people. Nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. Don't ever get that twisted. I never said that. Don't take my words. To each their own. But I'm just saying what I love about my job, it's always something different. It's never to the same thing. Always meeting, different people, traveling. So I think I have one of the funnest jobs in the world. And so it became a true passion of mine. Now the money is just a bonus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I just wanted that one serious moment. Now we could go back to a bunch of nothing.
Okay. Well, hey, if we're going to talk about nothing, you might as well tee up
that's
question
fine. I'm interested because, okay, you've decided that you want to be an actor. You don't really know exactly what that means, but now you're literally training. You're going to like a school, basically, right? You're training to be an actor. Is that boring for you?
Well, no, once you do Taco Bell, do you still stay in class? Or
Yeah,
you're
how
like,
does
hey,
this work?
I've actually
Yeah.
come out.
I was in class a little bit, just kind of getting shaped and polished a little bit,
Okay.
but I didn't go to the class that much anymore because I was already starting to kind of gear off in my acting stuff.
But how much, from your perspective, how much does an actor's talent versus development of a skill play in terms of success? Like, do you have to work on your trade in a way, or is it just natural? You're naturally talented and charismatic. Like, what the fuck wins?
well, no one can teach personality. Your personality is what your personality is. But and I take no credit for this. I heard one of my real good friends say this, Emilio Rivera. Shout out to you. He said, you can't teach us how to act what I lived. You get what I'm saying? So, and it was crazy because when I told the producer guy, like, this is how you get paid, like, what? Like, I want to be an actor. He hooked me up with a manager friend of his. So when I went to go meet this manager guy, I came in like this. Like, I don't know nothing from nothing. I'm walking in like, what's up? Like, I don't know scratch from scratch. And he's like, I like you, man. I'm going to send you out on some stuff, And everything he sent me out on was Gangster 1, Trigger, Cholo 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dog, I thought I was here to act. This is how I am in real life. And that's just how it kind of
It's interesting, though, because from what I've read, I mean, that you were a little bit frustrated in the beginning of your career because you were, in a way, pigeonholed to the optics of what you're kind of expressing as to who you are, which is what you're saying, right? I mean, you were seen as, like, gangster, hip-hop.
Not in the beginning of my career because, someone has to play the bad guy, whatever. As you go on in the career and you start realizing with wisdom and experience, I want to play different roles. Now I want to branch out.
Yeah.
And that's where I started, and I always say something like, if no one's going to give you the opportunity, then give the opportunity to yourself.
Yeah, that's great.
And so that's what I did. So I started producing my own movies. And then I did that movie that you guys were talking about earlier where I played a cop. I had a full head of hair, no mustache, no goatee. I looked like Eric Estrada from Chips. It was a whole nother...
Monson John, baby.
I mean, if you can pull out that picture, like, you guys will see something and be like, what? That ain't you, but it's me. So, yeah,
we will. We'll edit that right on.
Yeah, so I'm branching out and playing, different roles and stuff like that because I admire actors who can... go like Tom Hanks or Denzel Washington or Al Pacino or Robert De Niro who can play this and then play that and play that. Even another one, Joe Pesci, like actors like that. So I want to be that type of actor who can play Leonardo DiCaprio right now, just killing it, with the different stuff he's doing. So I admire actors like that.
So we're in LA, right? And I know nothing about
that.
Hollywood.
Was a professional moment of mine. No credit,
no
applause, no.
Well, no, they're applauding back there.
I'm playing.
So walk us through.
Trying to keep up with these guys.
In Hollywood, you have to audition in the beginning, right? You're trying to get the parts, and then what happens after that is your manager's like, "Hey, you have this part." Is that kind of how it works? Can you walk us through the
How
things
the
that
fuck do you get a chance to even
because everyone in Hollywood
audition?
is an actor, right?
Well,
I went to dinner last night. There was 14 actors that were bartending.
Yeah.
Everyone in Hollywood.
Everyone in Hollywood, but
valet parkers, your waiters, your bartenders,
the Uber drivers. Everybody's got a story, but I want to know like what happens on the back that we have no fucking clue about.
Well, the first thing in acting that leaves the both of you out is you have to know how to read.
Yeah,
I'm playing.
You can't look like this on TV. You can't.
You gotta read the script.
I'm playing, dog. I'm playing.
Yeah.
No. It's funny because every actor has a different story. You know what I'm saying? You can ask this actor, "What's up? How you do this?" or "What's your?" and they'll give you a different answer. "Hey, actor, what's up? Hey, actor, what's?" and you'll get a different answer from everybody. But acting's a journey. You know what I'm saying? Long story short. When you start to develop, I guess you can say, a little bit of notoriety, you still have to audition sometimes, but then sometimes also you get the offer. Sometimes you get calls where it's just a personality check. The director wants to meet you to see if they can work with you, to see how your personalities clash or not or what, to hire you because you're going to be together the next 4 months working on something. So there's just a lot of different ways to, get hired.
You're wearing a Raiders hat. I mean, that's not. I have a little bit of a sports background. It's not unlike a free agent who's proven himself in the league, trying to see what team fits. The team will come and interview you to see if you vibe. Right. So
the director's basically the coach, right? He's trying to put together a team that can vibe together. That's going to be able to create the vision of what that script is. Is that?
Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, the director is the coach, and he kind of decides with the producers, who would be best for the part. You know what I'm saying? And it can happen. And I've worked with so many directors that every director has a different style.
Is there one that stands out to you that you had where it just clicked?
One that I thought was crazy, bro, and I never forget this story. So I did a cameo on Batman Dark Knight Rises with Christopher Nolan. And I'll make the story short and quick. I go to set. I get the part because of Christian Bale. I did a movie with him before that, and he recommended me for the part. They put a cholo in Gotham. I don't know. But anyways, I'm working with Christopher Nolan. And long story short, he never introduced himself to me. And we did the scene like 3 times. And that's never, ever happened to me on a set. You always talk to the director before you even shoot a scene. And he didn't come up and introduce himself to me. So we did it 3 times, and he still never came up and said, "What's up?" So after the 3rd take, I went up to him, and I just said it like this. I said, "Hey, Christopher Nolan, man, first and foremost, I want to thank you for, having me be in your movie. I just want you to know it's a blessing to be here." And I go, with that said, I just got one question and one question only. I said, "I did this scene 3 times already, and you never gave me a direction or told me what to do or anything." And he said, "No news is good news. Now get back there and keep doing what you're doing."
Sounds like the Patriots.
So I did 2 more takes. He said, "That's a wrap. Go home." Check cleared. I was happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the experiences you had. You've been in a ton of movies. You've worked with a ton of people. Who's been your favorite actor to work with, and why? What are some of the things that they do that help you be great in a movie or in a role?
Well, I mean, I can't say favorite actor and narrow it down like that, because there's, a lot of good actors that I've worked with that, I've watched. And I always say this, man, there's no better teacher than being there. Your best teacher is experience and on the battlefield itself, right? Yeah. So getting to see a lot of the professionals that I've seen, how they work, what they do, how they prepare, has been crazy and has taught me a lot.
Okay, so that's this podcast, right? We're trying to extract.
By the time we get there,
what the fuck are elite people doing to become
the podcast
elite?
Hasn't even started yet, just so you guys know. Now we start.
Oh, yeah. You think we're recording?
I know, right?
Punch the clock.
Cameras are broken, bro. Oh, they're struggling here. No electricity paid.
But I think that it's one of the things that we've because we've done this with a lot of really people that have done some cool shit in their lives, and there's common themes to all of it. In your position, being around so many elite people in the Hollywood industry, you just talked about it. They put the work in. Are there some other traits that you can glean, or we could hear about that, where you're like, man, that is just different than the average person?
That's what makes you better.
Makes you better or elite. Like what are some of the things, or what are they doing in Hollywood to be great?
Taking chances, taking risks, doing things outside of the box that wouldn't normally be done. Sometimes you got to remember, acting, because the camera's right here in your face, it's more, the moments are more subtle, you know what I'm saying, than theater acting. Theater acting, you kind of have to overexpress it and charge it so the people in the back could know what's up. So you got to overact it. Mm-hmm. But, when you're acting on set in a movie and the camera's right here in your face, you got to make it like real life would happen.
Okay.
So I think it would be a lot of that.
It's interesting, though.
This would be like a long speech, though, like a long back and forth tug of war, because there's just so much that goes into that of, how and why and what preparation, what some actors do, what some actors don't do. Because I've seen actors who can talk like this right here, and then it's action, and then it's like, mother, you did, you know what I'm saying? And then go right back, flipping the character and go. And then I've seen other actors like, don't talk to me for the next 5 minutes. Like, don't bother me because I have to, you know what I'm saying? You
respect range, though. It sounds like with the actors that you mentioned, you respect range. You expect an ability to be able to pull from experience.
I'm listening.
And the question I have for you is, look, if understanding a little bit about where you came from, I would assume that as an actor, one of the best ways to perform on stage is to really be able to express yourself and draw from a personal experience of which that actor has to feel
Come on, let's do it.
manifest.
Let's do an Instagram right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, live, bro. I was gonna do it
let's
live.
fucking do it. We're ready to roll.
All right, this is cool shit.
Someone out there has to like hold it or stand
Oh
up.
yeah, no, Tony,
Tony,
come on, Tony, come on.
fuck off. Yeah, let's do this.
Like, you gotta like,
yeah.
go ahead, G. Yeah, and then hold up. There we go.
This is a fuck you Friday first.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I like
That's
this.
what's
So
up.
let me ask that question
hold
again,
the G
if you don't
or
mind.
you can
guys.
set it up so it stays right there. Yeah. Go ahead and backtrack.
We're gonna run it back a little bit because it's a question that I'm gonna
You
say.
can set it up or something. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, the point is you appreciate actors that have range, and understanding for where you come from. The question I have is like, look, those actors I would assume tend to pull from personal experience in order to express themselves in a character. If a character's feeling sad, you have to draw something from your personal experience in order to manifest that on stage or whatever, right?
Because you've done so much acting. Is that
what you do? Like, where do you pull? Does it have to be a personal experience, or can you practice something and draw from something else? Like, how do you fucking perform?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Oh.
There's some actors that do exactly that. They use a real situation that happened to them in real life, and they pull the tears from that. Or there's some actors who can really put themselves in the moment, really believe that they are that person in that movie. And, Heath Ledger being one of them. He kind of went overboard in Batman.
Sure, but that's what he did.
And exactly. But so I'm just making a point, though. You got that, and you got
What
this.
do you do?
So me, I do a little bit of both, man, to be honest with you, because I'll be real with you. Not that I can't do it, because I've done it already in like 3 films where I cry, but for me, crying is really hard, to keep it real. So I do pull from something that happened to me in real life.
And you need to do that at the moment, right? It's like
Well,
there's no salt water in your eyes that
you
can
get a little bit of preparation for it. You can mentally prepare yourself before you go into action and do it.
Yeah. Don't worry, that was your cell phone. Don't worry about
It's
it.
like it's broken like everything else in here. Don't worry about it. You're good. It's all, the people are broken, the cameras are broken, the lights are
How
broken.
are we doing so far on Fuck You Friday?
You guys live up to the name. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
That's great.
That's fascinating. You can just, but you literally have to like pull from something.
How long does it take to prepare for a role? So
it takes a while, depending on how many scenes you got, how many lines you have to memorize. It takes a while. Like this movie that I'm doing now, the preparation started from a week ahead. So it just depends on the role.
Is that a long time? A week ahead?
Not really, because again, it depends on how big the character is.
Okay.
If you got a starring role, I would think you start. You could start a year ahead. 5 months. There's no way to answer that question once again, because every actor is different, and you can start. It just depends on the role.
Okay.
And that's what determines when you start, and like that.
So I would assume that right now you're feeling pretty good about yourself in a way, right? You've defined some sort of success in Hollywood, which is very fucking hard to do. What is your ultimate goal standing here today in terms of like what direction do you want to take? Is there a specific way you want to be seen from the audience, or what exactly are you grabbing for right now?
Yeah, it's not that I'm feeling good about myself. It's just it's a blessing to be able to continue working and be where I'm at. And, and I always tell people too, it's kind of funny because it's a lot easier, but it's still hard. Mm-hmm. It's easier because of how long I've been doing it for and the relationships that I've developed. But at the same time, it's still hard in certain areas, so there's always an up and down roller coaster, but what I want to do is I want to make movies that motivate people and encourage people and inspire people and give people hope, because I think a movie that touches someone's heart is better than a movie that just entertains someone for the moment, which is cool too. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'd rather put all of that into one and have someone have, their heart be changed after watching one of my movies. So that's what I'm leading up to, and that's where I'm headed.
Are you at a point in your career where there's things where you'll look at it or read it and go, it's not for me. That doesn't fit the direction I want in my career. Because I know a lot of young actors are like, I just got to take it. I got every Taco Bell commercial that comes my way. I got to take it, right? Like, are you at a point where you want to look at things and go, yeah, it's good money, but it doesn't fulfill the things that I want to do? Or do you still have to kind of go through some of the shit to get to that point?
Right. No, there's some roles that straight up I won't take. You know what I mean? There's some roles that I wouldn't do. And I've already done that. I've already turned down a couple roles that I don't believe in that type of thing.
Don't vibe with it.
And I wouldn't do it, yeah.
And are there also people in Hollywood where you're just like, yeah, that's not my jam either. We're not vibing either. Where the director calls and you're like, I didn't get a good vibe on that. Does that happen in Hollywood or
that happens too? You know,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, Hollywood, just to keep it 100 with you, we're in the slimiest, two-faced, most craziest business ever, to keep it 100. You know, but that's in any business, whether you're, you know, working at Target or Walmart.
But is it magnified? Because there's ego,
I'm just saying,
right? The ego's in the money.
Well, I can't speak for everybody else, but I mean, I would assume, that there's ego and all that stuff, and the money can get the best of someone's heart sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
totally.
sometimes it's like they say, you know, real money comes in, true hearts come out. You know what I'm saying?
great.
So
Yeah, that's what Dupree say. The money only amplify who you are.
exactly. The money puts a heart on steroids. And you find out, oh, that's how you really. Yeah. So I always tell people the best success is mental health, and you know, your heart being right. So
how do you personally keep that in mind in your career, or what are some of the things that you do to exercise that, where it's a focus for you versus sometimes you can get focused just on your career or the money part of it and stuff like that. But how do you take a step back and take a 10,000 foot view on your life and say, hey, my mental health is important. I'm going to do this. Or what are some of the things that you're actually doing to stay true to yourself when it comes to that?
So, first of all, I never push my belief on someone else. To each their own, no judgment. I never push my belief on someone else. I respect everybody's belief and ways, and whatever works for them works for them. But for me, is Jesus Christ. That's what keeps my head level, keeps me right, and God is my hero.
Yeah,
so that's what keeps me.
Are there specific traits of Christ that really vibe with you?
Yeah, there's a lot. You know, if you just get to know God the way that I say it, and again, I never push my belief on someone else. But
we're going this way.
This is the way I say it, right? I say, don't even start off by trusting God. Don't even trust him right now. Just get to know him. And then as you get to know him, you'll start to trust him. And then when you really, genuinely, truly trust someone, you'll love them. And then when you really love someone, you don't want to hurt who you love. And that's how God keeps you in alignment.
You know, you're speaking. He's speaking to. You've done this twice. I want to. You probably don't know you've done this, but I'm going to tell you what you've done.
Tell me. Go educate.
It sounds like to me. Yeah. It sounds like to me that relationship building is big for you from a professional perspective and from a spiritual perspective. And you just mentioned it with God. You're developing a relationship with Christ, and that's very important to you. And yet, before our discussion there, you mentioned, and I just wanted to key off on it just a little bit, that your relationships are important in the context of Hollywood. What do you mean? In order to continue to succeed, what relationships are you talking about?
Because I always say I'd rather have one real friend than 100 fake ones. All right. So that, and you know, relationship is so important because I always tell someone like this, right? Let's say, for example, you got a secret. And you told someone your secret, right? But now your secret got all up out there and everybody knows your secret. That's not their fault that your secret is all up out there. It's your fault because you didn't know who to share your secret with. You didn't know who to share your personal business with.
Feels like you're looking into my soul right now.
My heart's palpitating a little bit. Did you research this before we did this?
I'm like, no, because I was looking at you too, but I gotta go back all the time. So no.
It went.
I'm just
we're deep in my eyes.
The uncomfortability
I don't feel
here?
normal here. Yeah.
Can we take a 5-minute break?
Try to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
I'm really uncomfortable.
That's because your clothes are too tight. You're wearing your little brother's clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the extra median all flexed out.
You got the schmedium.
Oh, okay, cool.
Got the schmedium on. We still love you. Give him a hug, man. Give him a hug.
I want to go home.
Don't worry. We only have 4 hours left.
Okay.
No, we're good.
All right, so we're talking about relationships. Married, single. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna go in a lot of different directions. We're gonna move.
I'm single right now.
What's it like being single and an actor in Hollywood?
It's hard. It's difficult. You know, I'm not Kevin Hart of The Rock, but you know, you get You get some funny ones out there.
Is that right?
Come at you. And
Is there a dating app for
Well, there's that one that Marquette's on. What's the Raya?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of dating apps, man. There's even
for
Christian Mingle.
Oh yeah.
I know there's dating apps, but I'm saying for Hollywood elite.
You want to create one or what? We'll start a new app.
Actually, we like doing that. We'll start a business idea and just try it.
Yeah, I love it. You guys are wild.
Why not? We're just trying to have a good time. It's Fuck You Friday.
I ain't mad at you. You don't see me, man. I'm smiling.
But is it tough? Because obviously, you've been out there. There's women.
Like straight up, like here's the deal, right? So life teaches us a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, I'll give you one small example. Relationship taught me a lot because you have to know who you're helping. And so I never forget this. And you learn through personal experience. I'll just share this one quick story.
Sure.
I never forget, I was with my church pastor one time and we were at a gas station. And I was like a fly on a wall. I saw it happen right in front of my face. A homeless guy comes up and was like, "Hey, man, can I get some money?" And my pastor pulled out some money and he said, "Of course you can get some money. Of course you can." He said, "What are you going to use the money for?" And he was like, "I'm going to get some drink and a smoke, man. I'm going to get some drink and a smoke." And my pastor goes, "Ooh, that was the wrong answer." He said, "If you were going to get a sandwich and some Gatorade, I would have gave you the money, but I can't give you the money to get drink and smoke." He goes, "I'm sorry."
Damn.
And the homeless guy walked away, all cussing him out and stuff, right? So it was just, my pastor was telling me, you always got to know who you're helping and why. Sometimes you could be helping the wrong person. Now, I'll tell you a personal experience of mine real quick. So when I was younger, in my young days, I used to help everybody and anybody get into acting because I was just, ignorant at the time. It was coming from a good place and a good heart. And anybody who told me I want to be an actor, I would tell them how to get started, what to do, the do's and the don'ts, how to go about it, the whole deal, right? And then this is what would end up happening. They would go for it. And when they found out that it wasn't as easy as they thought it was going to be, and that it was a little difficult, and I put my blood, sweat, and tears into them, helping them out for like a year, even 2 years, some of these cats. And then they'd be like, "Man, I don't want to be an actor no more. I'm going to go into like construction with my dad, or I'm going to go get this job over here." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Gee, I just helped you trying to be an actor. Now you're just going to quit on me like that?" So, you get jaded. Mm-hmm. And so it teaches you in life, like, I really want to know someone. So I always tell people, before I do business with anybody, I'm going to do a heart check and a personality check first, because I want to know where they're at in life before we even, because before in the old days, I used to just meet you in 5 minutes, crack some funny jokes, not even know you, and be like, "Man, we got to do some business together, man. You're funny." But nah, not no more.
You get burned a couple times. It's like,
now you know who you're helping and why. And so that's how I help people now, And so now it's funny, like, I even had a friend of mine come at me one time because I charge for acting classes now. And my friend even told me, he's like, "Dude, you don't care about people. You say you care about people, but you're charging for acting classes." And I'm like, "Gee, you got to understand, bro. I used to help people for free. The reason why I charge now is because I don't care if you quit or not now. I got paid for my time." Mm-hmm. And so that's why relationships are so important, because it teaches you in life what to do, what not to do, who to deal with and who not to deal with. And I'm not mad or nothing. I speak very passionately when I talk about that stuff, because I just want you to know, where it's coming from. It's coming from a good heart, good place. But these are the things that you learn in life. And, people can think what they think, but until they experience it themselves, I just say good luck to you.
And in your class, though, and this is a common theme that we run across, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Is that a mantra for you when you're teaching these classes too? Like, hey, this doesn't just happen.
I tell people all the time like this, man. I tell people like this all the time. I say, "Look, man, I'm going to coach you. I'm the coach. You're the team. But I'm not going to wipe your diapers for you. I'm not going to go in the kitchen with you and cook the food. I'm going to give you the ingredients. I'm going to give you the recipe, but you got to go in the kitchen and cook it yourself."
Yeah.
And that's how I tell people. And I got this thing that I say also. I do a trick question before I start my acting class. I tell them, "Do you want to just be an actor, or do you want to be a working actor?" And what's your answer? Let me just hear you guys answer real quick.
My answer is yes.
But what do you want to be? Do you want to be an actor? Do you want to learn how to act, or do you want to be a working actor?
It would be both.
No, I want to be a working actor.
You want to be a working actor?
Yeah, of course you want to grind.
So here's the reason why, and I'll make this short. There's a reason why I teach like that, because this is the way that my acting got started. After the commercial, I was dry for a little bit. Okay, I was dry for a little bit. And I was going to this class, And this is what ended up happening. I started finding out that I was becoming a professional student, not a working actor. And this was at the time that I didn't have money, really, to keep up with the classes. I was working all kinds of 9-to-5s. I was working at Burger King. I worked at Walmart. I worked at Kmart. I worked at Olive Garden. I worked at Denny's. I worked at Toys R Us, KB Toy Store. List goes on, right? A pizza place. I was delivering pizzas for a place called Pizza Mania. And here's my whole point, right? I went to the acting coach one day and I said, hey, man, I go, you got to tell me how to get a job. I go, I can't pay for these classes, bro. And I never forget this. He said, meet me after class. I met him after class, and I never forget this. He pulled out this book, and it was called The Agencies. And back in my days when I first started, this was before emails and all that stuff, right? This is when you physically had to put a 8x10 headshot in an envelope and mail it out. And I never forget this. I meet the teacher after class, and he shows me this book called The Agencies. And it showed all the agencies from San Diego, Orange County to LA. But you know what it said under 90% of all the agencies in big, black, bold print? It said, absolutely no phone calls are personal deliveries. And you know what? And you know what my acting teacher said? He said, you know what that really means? He goes, all that means is if you don't think you're good enough, don't walk into their office. Yeah. So here's what I did. I got all my headshots, and I marked down all the same agencies from lowest address to highest address on the same boulevard. And I just walked in their office and I said, hey, what's up, man? My name's Noel G. I'm trying to be an actor. I need an agent. What's up? And I had some agents that kicked me out straight up. They're like, hey, man, we don't do it like that. Yeah. As quick as you walked in, you need to walk back out. But I had some other agents that said, you know, I like your confidence, man. You're pretty courageous. Let me see what I could do for you. And I kid you not, as God is my witness, bro. I went back home. This is messaging days. I had like 17 to 20 messages from agents asking to represent me. I got my agents, started getting jobs. I had people in the acting class asking me, how do you get on a television show? How are you in a movie? Because I found myself becoming a professional student instead of a working actor. So the way I start my class, I tell them, if you just want to learn how to act, I'll take your money all day long and I'll just teach you how to act. And go and act. I taught you how to act. That's what you asked for. That's what you wanted. Thanks for the money. We're good. That's all you asked for. I asked you at the starting of the class, do you want to learn how to act or how to be a working actor? You tell me you want to be a working actor, I give you the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because it's a 7-step course on how to be a working actor. And if you do it my way and you do it for yourself, because nobody can do it for you except yourself, you will be a working actor. You will start being in commercials, television shows, etc. But like I said, you got to go in the kitchen and cook your own food. I don't cook.
Well, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right?
Yeah,
like
that's exactly right.
I mean, it's a great saying. So I run a business, and we get asked in some of our classes, right, on how to be a better CEO, a better leader for people in our team. And so the question is asked, and I'll kick it back to you. I answered your question.
Go ahead. I'll play in your sandbox.
Would you rather have a $100 million company which gives you a $1 million net profit, or would you rather have a $10 million company that gives you a $1 million net profit?
It's a good one because I'm so ignorant in math and all that stuff. But
so
ask it one more time. Ask it one more time.
Same profit, right?
Ask it one more time.
$100 million company with $1 million in net profit, or a $10 million company with $1 million in net profit.
All right, so let me tell you the way I answer, right? Because I always try to. It's like, you ever heard the saying, like, I'm going to answer your question. I just want to.
You're buying yourself a little time.
No, I'm not buying myself time. I'm giving myself to the setup of why I'm answering it like that.
That's fair.
So is that fair?
That's fair.
All right.
Totally fair. Just don't answer like him and say both.
No.
There's only one wrong answer.
I know.
That's usually the right answer.
You gave the one answer.
Only one wrong answer.
There's always
you get a little hand.
Oh God, here we go. Right. Hey, we're 1-1. We're 1-1.
Speaking of not making dollars or cents.
Oh, cool.
Right. 1-1. No, it's crazy. So let me tell you my setup, and I'm gonna answer your question. Right. So it's like that question you say, if a plane crashes on the border of the United States and Mexico, where do you bury the survivors?
Right on the border?
No, where it depends on where they're from.
You don't bury survivors. It's a trick question, all right?
Okay.
So you don't bury survivors. So here's my point. Right now.
I need to take a sip of water.
It's all good.
I feel bad about
drink the whole bottle.
That was deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Okay,
I get
got
it, though.
both of you.
Yeah, that's
I got both of you.
yeah.
But let me give you. So I want to give the setup. The reason why I asked that question is because I feel like it's a trick question. So I'm going to go with the one that wouldn't make sense to me coming in with no knowledge of not knowing your business.
It's any business.
I'm gonna say
any business.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is I don't understand that stuff because it's kind of a different language to me.
Right. Okay.
So when I don't know the different language, I got to answer it the way that I would answer. That's why I gave the setup first, right? Because I'm gonna go and think about the trick behind the question.
I like that.
So because of that, I'm gonna say the lower one. I'd rather have a $10 million business and that's the way that I think to show you, like, hey, look, man, I don't know this or that, but I can be taught. I can be educated. And if you teach me the business, take the time with me in the business, I could be one of your best employees.
Yes. What would be
the answer? Is right. Yeah, it's a $10 million business at $1 million in profit.
You see why I gave the answer like that, though? Because that's just to show you, like, oh, wow, like he may not be smart here, but he's smart here. I could use him somewhere else.
Well, I think it's to your point of an actor or a working actor. It's kind of in the same genre. And what I mean by that is everyone talks about the top line, right? I always tell people that are entrepreneurs, I don't give a shit if you have a $100 million company. If it doesn't make money, it's not worth anything, right? Yep. You have to make money. You have to perform. You have to be good. Like at the end of the day, it comes down to, are you executing? $100 million at zero profit you're not executing, right? Now sometimes the monopoly money that they got going on in the Silicon Valley, it's a little bit different. So you got to carve that out. You got to leave that alone. But for typical businesses, you want to have, it's a percentage, your profit percentage, right? And so it's better at 1 to 10 and versus 1 to 100. And plus, $100 million business, you got a lot of people running around.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of humans, got a lot of emotion, got a lot of managing.
Another one.
That's in any business, though.
You don't want to do
it's not more money, more problems, more people, more problems in California.
Human capital.
Oh, in California, too.
Well,
so anyway,
that comes back to less is more.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No,
Okay.
it's quality over quantity.
That's right.
That's what I
Look
get.
at us. Look at us now.
We're teaching you guys something over there. If you're still hanging on this long.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to start teaching in class. Right. All right. So what else do you do? So you act, you teach acting. Oh, first of all, as we're talking about teaching acting, can you give us one of the core principles of your class? Like, right, we don't know anything about acting. Well,
you said it's 1 through 7. Yeah, I act a lot. But
you act a lot. Yeah, but
one of the core principles that I give is this. This is what I say. And here's another trick question for you, okay? So as we go on
at least
and on,
I'll be on to this one, yeah.
All right. Is it a waste of my time to tell you step 2 if you can't even do step 1?
Yes.
There's got to be a trick to this thing.
It is. There is.
So it's got to be no.
I feel like he's the student here. Like be the one teaching that.
I was just going to look him directly in the eye. I wanted to peer into his soul.
Your answer is right.
If you answer with confidence, it wins.
You're the one that we just take a little more time.
Yeah.
Don't trip. We just take a little more time. I'm still in the books.
I'm the one behind asking one more question.
You're the one I was ditching classes, so I ain't mad at you.
No, this guy went to an Ivy League school. I got a 2.4 GPA at state school. Come on.
Well, you're absolutely right. So that's what I tell them. That's one of the core things in my classroom. I tell them it's a waste of my time to tell you step 2 if you can't do step 1.
Figure it out.
So if you follow the steps in order, the way that I give them, and you do it the way that it was told, and I'm coaching the team, you'll win.
So what's step 1?
Step 1 is headshots first. And that's all I can give away for free.
That's going to be tough for you.
That's one of these moments where
that's going to be tough for you.
Yeah. Well, there needs some airbrushing for you.
Yeah. That's why I'm not enacting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because headshots is your weapon into the game.
Okay.
And without headshots, a picture of you, it's your dead weight. So that's all I can give away for free.
That's right. That's a tease. That's that's like a drug dealer. They do a little tease and then they keep them come back for more.
Little dopamine hit. Well, it's like Instagram and the sugars. It's the same dopamine, right? It's a like, another like.
Next FU podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of FU, I think this might be actually a great time to be able to just say, first of all, thank you, man, for being able to hang out here and speak with us about just being elite. Your experiences, your stories are fucking awesome. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to be here. And Casey, I don't know if you have anything to tell them because you're really concerned about yourself right now and whether you're going to answer the next question correctly or not.
But, he's trying to rap because he's actually feeling pretty bad. He's
I'm pissed off that I missed the question.
He's 0 for 2. I'm actually, frankly, I'm embarrassed for him. I apologize.
You guys are real friends.
Oh, man.
Real friends. 100%.
That's a real host that has your back.
I got one more question and then we'll let you get out of here. But give us something that nobody knows about Hollywood, something behind the scenes, just something that's random, that's real in your world that we would have no fucking clue about.
I'll give you one of the best ones. A lot of people know how to do professional interviews and they know what to say in an interview and you have a sense/idea of who they are or who they appear to make themselves be, but you don't know anybody, period, until you know them in real life. So I don't care who's out there doing the best interviews. You think they're this way, that way, because my point that I'm making is, without naming names, there's some quote unquote celebrities out there who make themselves appear one way, and I've met them in person, and they are completely opposite of how great they come off to the world. And so that's why I say you don't know anybody until you know them in person.
Well, you said that too, until you know their heart. Right?
Exactly, the real.
Yeah.
And that's why I just want to lead into that. That's the same thing with Jesus. You don't know Jesus until you really know Jesus yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
that's incredible.
That's awesome. And
like that.
By the way, that's a perfect way to wrap up.
Yeah.
And follow me on my Instagram, actor Noel G. I got to put that in there.
Follow everything.
This
well,
podcast.
Here's the thing. Yeah, let's help each other here.
And continue to follow all the subtitles that you're about to read right here.
We're on every platform out there that we know. I mean, so follow us, like us, do whatever.
One, right?
Yeah.
God,
I'm getting crushed.
I'm
started so well.
It's a joke.
It started so well.
It's a joke.
Jesus Christ. At this point, I'm going to say, and I meant that in the best way.
We're going to give him his moment.
Oh, cool. Thank you. By the way, I'm 2-1. Oh, no. Yes. And that is where we wrap up. Fuck you, Friday. Another episode. Thank you, baby.
We love you.